Hello, Camilla. I'm sorry to text you out of the blue like this, but I have some news. I'm sorry to say that your mother passed away a few minutes ago. She went very peacefully, just like she was going to sleep. She didn't suffer or struggle or anything.
Oh, I guess I didn't make it back in time to see her. I shouldn't have gone on this vacation after all.
Don't be too hard on yourself. Your mother wouldn't have wanted that. It was sudden, too. There was no way you could have seen it coming. Are you all right, Camilla? You're on the train right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm riding the train on my way home now. Don't worry about me, I'm fine. I've known this moment was coming for a long time now. I was prepared for it. I'm more concerned about Brad, to be honest. He always loved Mom so much.
Yeah, Brad's still in the room with Mom right now, saying his goodbyes.
You know, Daphne, it's times like these that make me glad that you were there with Mom. I wouldn't have been any help to her.
No, don't say that. It isn't true.
It's all right, Daphne. I'm aware of my own shortcomings. You and Bran were living with Mom, so you guys were the ones who always had to take care of her. I only came by every once in a while to say hi, that's all.
You can't help that. You have your own family to take care of.
Well, in any case, it does feel good to hear you say that, Daphne. Thank you so much. So much for taking care of Mom for the last 3 years. I'm sure it must have been super difficult for you, especially since Mom's dementia started getting worse towards the end.
I was glad to do everything I could for her. She was my mother-in-law, but she always treated me as if I was one of her own children. And yes, it certainly isn't easy to take care of an elderly woman with dementia, but I have many more fun memories of the time I've spent with her.
I know that there's no one but you that Mom would have wanted taking care of her.
Oh, thank you for saying that, Camilla. That's so sweet of you.
Again, I'm just being honest over here. I kind of feel like I wasn't a very good daughter to my mom. I mean, I'm her actual biological daughter, but I haven't been able to do a single thing for her for years. I'll bet she was angry at me for not being there when she died.
No, Camilla, I know that's not true. Back before she lost consciousness, she was always telling me to tell you that she loves you and hopes you're enjoying your life.
Really? I don't know. I always thought that I was nothing but a burden on my mom. I wasn't even around much to help her in her old age, so I wouldn't be surprised if she had completely forgotten about me.
Well, I don't have any kids of my own, so I can't say this from experience, but I'm sure that children always have a special place in their parents' hearts. So please don't think that she was bitter or angry at you. That isn't the case at all.
Wow, you really are a sweetheart. You know that, Daphne?
I'm just saying what I really think. I know this is a difficult time for you, but we'll be here for you when you get here. So please, take care on your way.
Thanks, Daphne. Will do. I'll probably be there in about 3 hours or so. Do me a favor and let Brad know I'm coming too, okay? Hey, Daphne? Wow, I guess you finished taking care of all Mom's stuff in the house, huh? You work fast. This place is immaculate. I've never seen it so clean.
Thanks, Camilla. Oh, wait, are you at the house right now? I didn't know you were coming over.
Yep, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Well, make yourself at home. Sorry, Brad and I are out at the moment. If we'd known you were coming, we might have changed our plans. We're kind of tied up at the moment, so we won't be back for quite a while.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly why I came over right now.
Huh?
Make sure you have all the rest of your stuff out of the house by the end of the day, okay?
What? Camilla, what are you talking about?
Okay, so the other day, Mom's lawyer came by my house. He brought Mom's will with him, and he said he needed to read it to me. And guess what it said? Mom said she wants me to inherit the family house.
Oh, is that so?
Yep, but wait, there's more. She also said that she's not leaving Brad anything. Not one single cent. Not 1 square inch of property. Nothing.
But that doesn't make any sense. I don't understand. Brad and his mom always had an incredibly close relationship.
What's the matter, Daphne? Are you crushed to hear that Mom didn't leave anything behind for you? What, is that the reason you took care of her for all these years? You just wanted your piece of the pie when she died?
No, that's not true at all. I was never going after her money. It's just, well, it just doesn't make sense. She didn't leave anything to Brad? Nothing at all? I find that incredibly hard to believe.
Yeah, well, I am the oldest child in the family. I guess she must have just loved me more than him. I mean, I didn't do anything to help her out after she got too old to live by herself. And she still left me with everything. She must have really adored me.
Well, I suppose if that's what your mother wanted, then I'll respect her wishes. We'll move out of the house. However, could you give us a bit more time? I mean, you want us out today? That's not logically feasible. We'll need to find a new place to live, somewhere to store everything until we can move in. It's going to take us some time to take care of all that.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that. I already did you the favor of throwing all your stuff out into the front yard.
You what?
So, yeah, you should probably get back here and pick it all up as quickly as possible. It's garbage pickup day tomorrow. They might think it's garbage and take it all down to the dump.
Camilla, why are you doing all of this? You've never been like this before. I didn't think you were the type of person who would throw out all of our belongings like that.
Oh my God, you really are clueless, aren't you? I was only being nice to you because you were looking after my mom for me. That, and I was kind of concerned whether or not mom was going to leave me any inheritance. If she left everything to Brad like I expected she would, I was going to go to you and beg you to share it with me. I've been rehearsing exactly what I would say, and I even figured out how to make myself cry on demand. It's kind of too bad that I won't get to show off my acting skills now. But seriously, you didn't notice? Don't you think I was being just a little too nice to you? You're such a moron.
I can't believe it. You've been planning this all along? How could you? You betrayed both me and my husband's trust.
Yeah, go ahead. Call me what you want. Get it all out of your system. Nothing's gonna change the fact that I'm getting everything, and you're getting nothing.
And to think I was concerned about how you would handle your mother passing.
You don't need to be concerned about me anymore. I'm gonna be rich! All you need to do is get back here and clear all your junk off of my property by the end of the day. Got it? Me and my husband are so excited about settling into our new house. Hey there, Daphne. How are things, sweetheart?
What do you want?
Well. Aren't we feeling nasty today? Be careful, Daphne. Your sweet and submissive personality is the only thing you've got going for yourself. If you give that up, what will you have left?
I'm sweet to the people who deserve it. You don't.
Don't you think you ought to be a little more careful about how you speak to me? You guys are in big-time financial crisis, aren't you?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, sure you don't. Sure. You're not fooling anyone, Daphne. You know just as well as I do that you and Brad were ruined the day I kicked you out of the house. I mean, I see you two meandering around the local park just about every day. Are you living there now? You're homeless, aren't you? Plus, I've seen you eating meals there too.
Well, you're right about one thing. We have been taking walks through the park quite regularly lately. We moved into the condominium complex that's right across the street from that park. So it's become part of our routine to grab a coffee and donut from the nearby cafe in the afternoon and go for a stroll in the park.
Huh? The condominium complex? You mean the one that just got built recently?
Yep, that's the one.
Okay, you're going way too far with the lies now. There is no way that you and Brad are living in one of those condos. What's your goal here, Daphne? Did you think you were going to show me up by lying about living in a luxury condo or something?
It's not about showing you up at all, Camilla. All I'm doing is telling you the plain and simple truth.
Wait a minute. Don't tell me. The reason Mom didn't leave Brad anything in her will was because she already gave you all the money while she was still alive? That's it, isn't it? That's not fair. No one ever said anything about that to me.
Calm down there, Camilla. That's not what happened.
Then explain yourself. How on earth were you two able to move into that luxury condo?
It's quite simple, really, if you think about it. We've been living with your mom for over 3 years now, and in all that time, we didn't have to pay 1 single cent on rent, utilities, that sort of thing. Plus, when I wasn't taking care of your mom, I was working from home. With extremely low expenses as well as 2 incomes, we've been able to save up quite a good deal of money.
Okay, sure. Maybe. But enough to live there? There's no way.
It's not just the money we've saved up in the last few years. Brad and I also had quite a bit of savings from when we were single. Neither of us have any expensive hobbies or interests, so yeah, we had more than enough money to move here.
I don't believe that stupid story for 1 second. You're still sore from me taking everything away from you, and are just saying this to make me feel jealous. I see right through you.
I'm not really concerned whether you believe me or not. We don't have any intentions to invite you over for dinner anytime soon, or ever, frankly. Really, we'd rather not have anything to do with you ever again, if at all possible.
Yeah, well, the feeling's mutual. I don't want to see either of your faces again.
If that's true, then why did you go out of your way to text me just now?
I wanted to give you a warning. I don't care how much trouble you're in. I will never give you a single cent of the money or property I got from Mom. A couple of broke losers like you would just waste it on something stupid anyway.
I see. Understood. Thank you for the warning.
Now, never show your face around here again. You don't even deserve to look at Mom's old house. She kicked you out, not me. She hated you and loved me. Only me. The only reason she kept you losers around is to be live-in nursing staff. Don't blame me or even Mom. It's your fault for being such losers. Daphne, are you there? Where's Brad? Is he with you right now?
No. He's out of town on work. He won't be back until tomorrow at the earliest.
Okay, well, then is something going on with his phone? I keep trying to call him, but the calls don't go through.
Oh, I can explain that. He's not in the country right now. He went to his company's UK headquarters for a global conference.
Oh man, okay, then I guess I'll just have to talk to you. They're trying to kick us out of the house.
What? Who's they?
Mom was in debt, like a lot of debt. You guys didn't know?
Wow, really? I had no idea.
You really didn't know?
No, Camilla, I'm sorry, this is the first I've ever heard of it.
Mom had about $100,000 in her savings account, but even that isn't enough to pay it all off. I mean, we could even sell the house, and that wouldn't be enough to pay it off. And now I'm on the hook for that debt.
Well, I'm afraid there's nothing that you can do about that. You were the sole inheritor of your mother's estate. That means that you get all of her assets, including negative ones.
I had no idea she was in so much debt, but a bunch of guys in suits came by the other day and told me that I gotta pay. I asked them why, and they said that since I had spent some of her money and was living in the house, I have no choice. You might have known, but Brad had to have known. He tricked me.
Oh, wait a minute, that reminds me. Before your mother passed away, she gave me a letter.
A letter? What did it say?
That's the thing, I never opened it. She said that I should open it if I ever needed answers. She also said that it wasn't her will, though. I had no idea what to do with it, so I just set it aside up until now.
Yeah, well, I need some answers, so read it right now. Maybe she had more assets that she didn't tell us about, like a bunch of gold bars buried in the backyard or something.
Okay, give me a moment.
Hurry it up! I'm in the middle of a bona fide crisis over here. My husband is furious. He says there's no way he's gonna pay it off for me. If I don't get my hands on a lot of money fast, he's probably gonna divorce me.
Oh, everything makes perfect sense now.
Did you read it? What did it say?
It says here that your mom's plan all along was to force her debt onto you.
What?
Back when your mom was still alive, you were taking money out of your mother's account without her permission, weren't you? Not only that, you took some of her jewelry and other valuable things, sold them, and kept the money for yourself. And despite all that, you would come crying to her all the time, saying you had no money and needed help.
I have a family to support. We've gone through some hard times. I thought I could count on her to support me. She was my mother, after all.
From what your mother says, you were asking her for quite an unreasonable amount of money. She also recounts what you said to her when she came to you and asked you to help her out around the house. I have way better things to do with my time than babysit an old woman. Did you really say that to your own mother? Jeez. She also said that after she was diagnosed with early signs of dementia, she noticed that anytime she left you alone in a room with her wallet, a few bills would mysteriously go missing. But apparently, the thing that finally pushed her over the edge was when you stole the ring that your father gave to her on their anniversary and sold it for scrap gold.
I don't believe it. She remembered all that stuff?
She was only in the early stages of dementia when she passed away, Camilla. Do you know how dementia works? You don't suddenly forget everything overnight. And even if dementia gets worse, there are times when people remember things very clearly and times when they forget. It's a pretty unstable condition.
So you mean to tell me that my mom really was mad at me all this time?
Well, based on a simple reading of the letter she gave me, I'd say yes, she was very mad at you. She got so sick and tired of you stealing her things, she decided she would put a stop to it. She took out a large loan and simply left it in her account. And you took the bait.
Wait, hold on. That means the money I was taking out of her account, that wasn't hers? That was the money she borrowed?
Yep, that's exactly right. She was also deliberate to only make payments on the interest so that you would be left with the full amount of the principal.
I can't believe it. How could she do this to her own daughter?
Considering all the terrible things you did to your own mother, I'd say you don't have any room to complain.
I've got plenty of room to complain. I'm screwed. What am I supposed to do now?
Don't ask me. I guess your best option is to sell the house and work off the rest.
But if I sell the house, where am I supposed to live?
I'm pretty sure there's a nearby building where you can get a studio apartment for about $3,000 a month.
I can't live there. Are you kidding me? Oh man, what am I gonna do? Wait, you're living in that sweet luxury condo, aren't you? Let us live with you.
No.
Why not? It's not like you're using all the space. You don't have any kids or anything. It's just the two of you. You can let us stay in your spare room for a few months.
The issue isn't whether or not we can. We have no responsibility or duty to help you out at all.
Don't you understand how much debt I just got thrown onto me?
I have a pretty good idea, but I also don't see how that's any of my problem.
You have to help. I'm your sister-in-law. Brad's my younger brother.
I distinctly remember you saying that you didn't want to see either of our faces ever again.
I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I'm sorry for kicking you out of the house. I'm sorry for rubbing it in about you guys not getting any inheritance. I'm sorry for everything.
I don't need or want an apology from you. There's nothing you could say or do that would get us to forgive you for what you've done.
Well, maybe you won't forgive me, but what about Brad? I know that he'll help me for sure once he knows how much trouble I'm in. He's always loved me, ever since we were little kids. I'm his big sister.
He explicitly told me that I don't need to waste any time dealing with you anymore.
But then why did you even respond to my text just now?
Actually, I turned off notifications for you a while ago. I was planning to block you, but I never got around to it until now. I was about to do just that when I saw you had texted me. You seemed like you were panicking about something, so I thought it might be entertaining to see what your problem was. And boy, oh boy, was I right.
You're the worst. I'm in the biggest crisis of my life right now, and you're mocking me?
I'm the worst? If I was the worst, then why are you the one that got stuck with all that debt instead of me?
Please, Daphne, please, I'm begging you. It's fine if you don't want to let us live with you, but can you at least give us some money? If you can afford to live in that condo, then you have to have enough savings to give us a hand.
I wouldn't even loan you $100 if I had Elon Musk kind of money.
Come on, Daphne. I don't want to deal with all Mom's debt.
You're the one who drove her to take out all that debt, Camilla. Not to mention your mother never even used any of the money she borrowed for herself. That was all you. You spent the money and now you can pay it back.
I already told you I can't. Why won't you help me out? I'm practically on my knees begging you.
After everything you've done and said to us, do you really expect I'd roll over so easily and help you out?
I already apologized to you for all that stuff. You want me to apologize again? Fine. Sorry. There. I said it again. How about now?
I'm sorry, Camilla, but even if I wanted to help you out, I can't. We don't have any money to give you.
You're lying. You bought that condo, didn't you? Then you have to have some money.
Oh, don't get me wrong. We do have money. We just don't have any money to give to a low-down, conniving, lying, deceitful woman like you. Seriously, you've got some gall, Camilla. You told us that you never wanted to see us again, but now you're coming around and begging for handouts? Have some dignity.
It's not like I want to have to beg you for money. It's all my mom's fault for sticking me with this massive debt. She deceived me. I'm the victim.
Sure, you may have been deceived, but don't think for a second that you're the victim here. If you're a victim at all, you're only a victim of your own misdeeds. Don't be mad at me, be mad at yourself. Not long after that last text exchange, Camilla exhausted all of her options and decided to sell her mother's house. However, that was only enough to cover half of the debt she was now on the hook for. As for the other half, Camilla's going to have to pay that all back on her own. She told me her husband said he wasn't going to pay it, and it looks like he meant it. He left her behind and moved back in with his parents while she figured everything out by herself. Apparently, if Camilla had acted sooner, she could have disclaimed her inheritance and avoided this mess altogether. However, it just so happens that I read the contents of that letter to her just one day after the legal deadline for disclaiming. Ouch. Although, since she had already spent a bunch of money on herself, she probably would have had a difficult time disclaiming anyway. A few days ago, I saw her standing out on the street in front of our condominium building, scowling up at where our room was. We called security on her. They promptly whisked her away from the premises, and we never saw her again after that. I have no idea where she is right now or what she's doing. Well, I take that back. I'm fairly certain that she's still struggling to deal with her mother's special parting gift for her. As for me and my husband, we were never after his mother's estate. We decided to move in with her and take care of her because we love her. Not to mention we legitimately enjoyed spending time with her. To be honest, though, his mom did give both of us some very nice watches while she was still alive. And when I say very nice, I mean very nice. Neither of us were very knowledgeable about watches, but we looked them up sometime after his mother passed. When we saw how much they were selling for, we were blown away with how expensive they were. Also, since they were made in a limited production run, their value is only expected to increase in the future. I suppose you could say these watches were the inheritance that my mother-in-law left for us. But they're not the only things she left behind. No, far more valuable than the precious metals and gems in these watches are all the memories of the time we shared together. My mother-in-law was always a kind and gentle person to me, so I was a bit surprised to find out about the intricately planned revenge she came up with for Camilla. I'll bet knowing she was able to teach her a lesson she'll never forget was what helped her pass away so peacefully.
Good morning, Marlene. How are you feeling today? And tell me, did you like the beef and bean chili I brought over for you yesterday? I made it extra spicy, just the way you like it.
Good morning, Mom. I'm feeling about as well as I can be, being as far into my pregnancy as I am. And, about the chili you brought over yesterday, I'm really sorry, but ever since I got pregnant, my stomach just can't handle anything spicy. I wasn't able to eat any of it.
What? You didn't eat it?
Yeah, like I said, recently it's been so bad that if I just smell something spicy, my stomach starts to churn. I have enough stomach trouble with morning sickness, so I decided I would hold off on spicy stuff until after the baby is born. Of course, after that, I'll have to wait until I'm done breastfeeding. It's really the worst not being able to eat all my favorite spicy foods. But that son of yours sure loves his mother's cooking. He ate 3 bowls of it. He asked me to tell you it was delicious, and feel free to bring another pot over anytime.
Marlene, do you have any idea how long I worked on that pot of chili for you? I slaved all day over a hot stove to bring you one of your favorite foods. And you couldn't even eat one single solitary bite? I've been pregnant multiple times before. I've never had that sort of reaction to spicy food. Did I do something to offend you, Marlene? Is that why you refuse to eat my chili?
No, Mom, that's not it at all. I really, really wanted to have some. I love your chili. It's just, well, apparently this baby doesn't want me eating anything spicy, so I'll just have to bear with it for a while.
I even made a special trip out to the store to get the brand of chili powder that you liked. I had other chili powder on hand. I got in the car and drove all the way into town, specifically to make you happy.
And I'm really, really grateful for that. Really, I am. And like I said, Tom loved the chili, and I know it must have been fantastic.
I must have gotten the recipe wrong. I'll bet the truth is you did eat the chili and hated it, and you're just making the story up about giving up spicy foods to protect my feelings.
Oh heavens, no, please don't think of that of me. I tell you what, would you like to talk to Tom personally? He'll be able to confirm both the facts that I've been giving up on spicy foods and that your chili was delicious.
I'm sorry to have troubled you. I tried my best to please you, but I guess it just wasn't good enough.
Oh, no, Mom, I'm so sorry. I never wanted to make you feel this way. I feel awful.
Don't be, it's my fault. I may have made the chili especially for you, gone out to the store especially for you, and spent all day getting all the spices in exactly right amounts for you. But I failed. Forgive me, dear. I'll never darken your doorstep with my sloppy cooking ever again.
Mom, I'm so sorry. Tell you what, after the baby is born, I can give them a bottle for a while, and that way I won't have to worry about the spiciness coming through you in my breast milk. So we can whip up a big pot of your delicious chili, and we can have a big chili party at our house. We can invite all the rest of the family if you'd like. Wouldn't that be fun?
I don't think you'll have time to be organizing any parties for some time, dear. Remember, you're going to be the mother of a newborn baby.
Ah, right. I suppose I might have had a bit of a hard time taking care of the party and the baby. Well, in that case, I'll have you make me a pot of chili again once things have settled down around here, okay?
All right, fine. Speaking of which, you're due to give birth before too long, aren't you? If I recall correctly, you should be about 2 weeks out, yes?
Yep, that's right. I'm a combination of really nervous, really excited, and really ready to get this baby out of my belly. And, well, I guess it's also a little scary to give birth, but I know the clinic I'm going to is one of the best around. It's the one that Monica told me about.
My daughter, Monica?
Yeah, she told me that all her friends in the area put that clinic as their first choice when they said to give birth.
That girl is such a sweetheart, isn't she?
Totally, and she's also absolutely brilliant. I learned so much about pregnancy and giving birth from just talking to her.
You know, Monica is going through infertility treatment.
Oh, no, I had no idea. She never mentioned that to me.
I see. Well, she's been going to a therapist for about a year now, and even in such a situation as that, she's still going out of her way to tell you about all those things. It must be so dreadfully painful for her. Let me make one thing very clear to you, Marlene. I'd better not catch wind of you bragging to Monica about having a baby before her. Do you understand me?
Bragging? Mom, what makes you think I would ever do such a nasty thing to Monica? But thank you for giving me a heads up about her condition. I'll have to be careful not to say anything insensitive to her.
Yes, see to it that you do. She may seem like a bright and cheerful girl, but she's got an awful lot on her mind right now. Not to mention, she and her husband have been married for much longer than you two have. This has to be an awful lot of pressure on her. I'll bet her husband's parents are just as anxious to have grandchildren as I am. I've always thought that Monica would be the first one to have a baby. I can't say that I'm not a little bit disappointed.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. It just, happened.
Oh, goodness gracious, there I go again. Well, there's nothing for you to worry about, dear. It's not your fault at all. I'm terribly sorry about the chili. I'll bring you a pot of some chicken noodle soup next time. And don't worry, I won't put anything spicy in it. Not even pepper.
Thanks so much, Mom. You're a great cook, so I would be excited for anything you want to make for me.
Now, you may be pregnant, but there's no excuse to lay around all day stuffing your face, you hear me? You need to make sure you get your exercise. I read in a magazine the other day that doing jumping jacks can be good for blood flow to the baby.
Jumping jacks? Sorry, Mom, but with my belly as massive as it is right now, I don't think I'll be able to handle those.
Not to worry, dear. I read it in a magazine. It has to be good advice. Be sure to give it a try, and sooner rather than later. Your baby is counting on you.
Hey there, Mom. I hope you made it home safely. I just wanted to tell you thanks again for stopping by the clinic today. I'm sorry if I seemed a bit out of it. I was just a bit tired from, well, you know what.
Nonsense. I don't blame you at all. I've given birth twice myself. I know exactly how taxing it is on a woman's body. You go ahead and get all the rest you need. Trust me, you're going to need it.
Thank you very much. I intend to do just that.
It was odd, though.
Huh? What was odd, Mom?
The baby's face.
The baby's face was odd?
Indeed. She didn't look like my son at all.
Really? Well, I guess she's a newborn, and I'm sure the resemblance will come out eventually. Oh, but if you ask me, I'd say her ears are really just like Tom's.
I wouldn't be so sure if I were you. I'll never forget the day Tom was born. He was such a precious little angel from the moment I first laid eyes on him. But that baby, I feel like with that face, she would have been better off being born as a boy.
That's an odd thing to say about your grandchild. But again, I'm sure she'll start looking cuter and cuter as she grows.
For her sake, I hope you're right. If she doesn't lose that face soon, I would be surprised if she ever found a boy willing to marry her. Have you considered putting away some money in case she needs to have plastic surgery in the future? If she's still that ugly by the time she's a teenager, you'll want to act as soon as possible. And plastic surgery can be expensive.
Okay, Mom, really, that's enough. How can you be talking like this about your own granddaughter? Both me and my husband love her with all our hearts and think she's the most beautiful thing we've ever seen. So please stop talking about our daughter that way. It's incredibly hurtful.
What's the big deal? I'm just giving my honest opinion. Everyone's entitled to have their own opinion, aren't they? And I've got the right of freedom of speech, haven't I?
You are more than free to think whatever you want about me, my husband, or our daughter. However, you also have a responsibility to watch your mouth and not make awful and unnecessary comments.
My oh my, Marlene. I had no idea you had this kind of personality. Are you showing me who you really are now that you've popped a baby out? You sound like you're in the early stages of becoming a controlling, overprotective parent. I'm even more nervous about that girl's future now.
I'm sorry, are you the only person entitled to say what they think around here?
I always thought you were a good, submissive little girl. But now that you've given birth, all of a sudden you think you have the right to be giving me orders. If this is how you act around your betters, just imagine what an awful personality you're going to pass on to your daughter. When you married my son, you vowed to never talk back to me about anything. That's what it means to be a good daughter-in-law.
I made my vows to my husband. I don't recall making any promises regarding you, especially not any promises to sit back and allow you to hurl hateful, hurtful comments about my newborn daughter.
Oh, you're just being overly dramatic now. I haven't said anything hateful or hurtful. All I did was say the truth. You've got no business getting angry at me for that.
Well then, I see this is how you're going to be. Thank you for making it very clear to me what kind of person you are, Mom.
Excuse me? I don't like your tone, Missy. What was that supposed to mean? If you got something to say to me, then say it.
I'll pass. There's absolutely nothing positive that can come out by continuing this conversation.
And now we see you for what you truly are, Marlene. It's just as I thought all along. You've got no business raising a child. You don't know the first thing about respect.
I don't want to hear any lectures about respect from you, Mom. You can think whatever you want about me, but I know exactly the kind of mother I'm going to be. I will love this girl with all my heart and soul, and I will never say anything to her as hurtful as what you just did.
You silly little girl. Don't you realize who you're talking to? I'm a mother of 2 children, and I say that you're not fit to be a mother. I'm an expert on mothering, and don't they all say to follow the experts these days? Oh, mercy. Why did you get pregnant instead of Monica? What to do? I suppose at this point, the only thing I can do is ensure the child is raised well in a loving home. With you taking care of her, I doubt she'll live to see her first birthday.
I don't believe you. How dare you talk to me like that?
Oh my goodness me. Did I say that out loud? Sorry, the little thought was supposed to stay in my head. You could forget I ever said it. Well, Marlene, I know you've probably been worrying a lot about whether you'll be a decent mother for this child for the last few days. But good news! You won't need to worry about this child any longer. Better luck next time.
What? What are you talking about?
Don't tell me you still haven't noticed. What on earth are you doing right now anyway?
I just got done eating dinner and I was about to walk back to my room to lay down for the night. I'm probably gonna regret saying this, but why do you ask?
Ah, so then you wouldn't know yet, would you? I was just confirming something, that's all. You see, I've taken the liberty of removing your child from your custody.
What?
As I told you, I'll see to it that this child is raised by a loving and capable mother. My daughter, Monica. So your work is done here. If you'd like another shot at raising a child, you'll just have to have another.
Wait, this isn't making any sense. You removed my daughter from my custody? But my baby is right here with me. She hasn't left my side all day. Whose baby did you take?
Huh? But that's impossible. I have your baby right here.
No, Mom, I'm looking at my baby right now.
No, but this baby was in your room at the clinic.
No, Mom. I moved into a different room today, so that baby isn't mine. I don't even know whose baby that is. You kidnapped a complete stranger's baby. This is unbelievable. What are you thinking? I guess that explains why all the clinic staff have been in a total panic today.
Hold on. You're trying to trick me, aren't you?
Bring that baby back to the clinic this instant. The police have already been called. They're talking to the head nurse right now. I'll go ahead and tell them what's going on. Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening.
Marlene, if you're bluffing to get me to give you your baby back, tell me right now.
It's not a bluff. You kidnapped a baby, a newborn baby. I can't imagine what that poor mother and her family must be going through right now. Please, Mom, I'm begging you, bring that baby right back now.
You can't fool me. There's no way there are 2 babies in that clinic as ugly as yours. I'm not going to fall for your stupid little trick. I'm going straight to Monica's house. You will never see this baby ever again. Hello there, Marlene. Do you happen to have a moment to talk?
Huh? Mom, is that you?
You, Tom, and Monica all blocked my phone number, so I had to get a brand new phone. Please, Marlene, I won't take long, but won't you please let me speak my piece?
What do you want now? I'd rather never have anything to do with you ever again if that's possible.
I know, Marlene. I know. I did an indescribably stupid and evil thing. The moment the police officer slapped the handcuffs on me and dragged me into the police car, I realized just what a fool I've been.
From what I heard, the family whose baby you kidnapped agreed not to press charges. I take it you reached some kind of statement?
That's right. My husband agreed to pay them the amount they asked for in order to keep me out of prison. And in exchange, he kicked me out of the house.
I see.
I never thought that I would be looking at a divorce at my age, much less having every single member of my family turn their back on me in unison. Things weren't supposed to turn out this way.
You ripped a newborn baby out of the arms of his mother. You actually just walked into a hospital room, grabbed the first baby you found, and ran out of the door. I don't think you have any room to be complaining about your husband divorcing you, especially seeing how he paid the family off to save your skin.
I know, Marlene, but I did it all for Monica.
Don't you dare try to blame Monica for this. She would never have wanted any part of this insane scheme you came up with. This is all your fault. You had some sort of psychotic break and did irreparable damages of 2 families.
You're a mother too, aren't you? Surely you can understand the desire to go to any and all lengths for your child. I wanted nothing more than Monica to have a child of her own. She deserved to have a baby to hold, love, and nurture.
Yes, Mom. Monica wants children, her own children. She's been working so hard for over a year now, precisely in order to have her own children. And what you did was a massive slap in the face for her and everything that she's been through.
I know. Monica already told me that. She told me that I'm the worst mother in the world and that she hates me, and that she's disowning me as her mother.
Yeah, I'll bet she did.
Marlene, what should I do now? None of them will listen to me. I've tried apologizing to my husband and my 2 children, but they won't forgive me. They won't even listen to a word I say.
That's completely understandable given the terrible things you did. But anyways, why do you think contacting me would go any differently? I'm just as angry at you as any of them are. I thought the fact that I blocked your phone number would be enough for you to take the hint.
It's just, I feel like in all of this I've hurt you the most. I felt so terrible. I thought that unless I got the chance to properly apologize to you, the guilt would drive me insane.
Don't bother. You're far too late to apologize for what you did. I will never forgive you, and once this conversation is over, I will never be speaking to you ever again.
Please, Marlene, don't be that way. After all the time we've shared together, don't you remember when we talked about having a chili party after you gave birth?
I was only being nice to you because you were my mother-in-law. Did you really think I didn't notice what a passive-aggressive jerk you were being to me even before I gave birth?
Well,
You spent over enough chili to feed 10 people, despite knowing that I can't eat spicy food right now. And you told me to do jumping jacks 2 weeks before my due date? Are you freaking out of your mind?
but I was really just trying to help you.
Yeah, I'm sure you were trying to help me. Give birth prematurely, that is. Oh, and it's not just the chili. You've gone out of your way to cook food for us that you know I can't eat. I lost track of how many times you sent us over those 40-piece sushi platters. Pregnant women can't eat raw fish. Not to mention, all the meat you sent us was cooked. Just a little bit raw. Chicken, pork, beef, everything. Combined with the way you acted to me right before the birth, I got the message loud and clear. You were furious that I was pregnant and Monica wasn't. Admit it.
I'm sorry. It's just, whenever I saw your stomach getting bigger, I thought about how difficult things were for Monica, and I just snapped. My maternal instinct took over, and I started acting like some kind of feral animal. The same thing happened when I took that baby. But now that you're a mother too, you understand, don't you? You'd be willing to do anything for your child.
I mean, yeah, I'd be willing to do anything for my daughter, but unlike you, for me, the word anything doesn't include literal crimes. I would never hurt people as much as you have and try to justify it by saying it's all for my daughter's benefit.
Yes, and I've seen the error of my ways. I'll never do anything to hurt you or your daughter ever again. In fact, I want to be the best mother-in-law and grandmother that I could possibly be.
Don't tell me.
So please, I'm begging you. Can't you please let me live with you for a little while? I'm sure that my husband will forgive me before too much longer.
I knew that where this was going. How shameless can you possibly be? And how much of an idiot do you think I am? I already made myself clear. I will never forgive you for what you've done.
How can you say that? We're both mothers, right? Now that we've both given birth, I thought for sure you'd see things from my point of view.
There's no point of view that makes it suddenly okay to kidnap a newborn baby and try to cause a miscarriage.
But I already apologized for that stuff.
Yeah, you gave me your self-serving apology that was immediately followed by begging me for help. I'm not going to work, Mom. How many times do I need to tell you it's not going to work, Mom? How many times do I need to tell you? I will never forgive you, ever.
But I don't have anywhere else to go. I'm homeless. My husband made me sign an agreement to give up any claims to alimony or asset division in the divorce when he paid off that family for me.
And this is all your own fault.
Please, Marlene. I know that I've done something utterly unforgivable, but I will never do anything of that sort again. I've changed.
I'm not going to say this. I'm only going to say this once, so listen up. This isn't a matter of you apologizing, changing, or turning over a new leaf. Both me and your son have made it crystal clear to you that there is nothing you could ever do to make this right with us. You tried to kidnap our daughter from my hospital room. You should be counting your lucky stars that both our daughter and the baby you kidnapped were unharmed. Having you in the same house as my daughter is a risk that's far greater than I'm willing to take. It's difficult enough for me to even be talking to you by text right now. If I had to hear your voice or see your face, I think I'd go insane.
I'm truly, genuinely, profusely sorry, Marlene.
Stop wasting your time. It's time for you to go and deal with the consequences of your own actions.
But think about it, Marlene. This is your first child. Taking care of a newborn is a lot of work, dear. And I just so happen to be an expert in the field of childcare, having raised two myself. I think you'll be glad to have me around to help.
I have both my husband and Monica around to help me. You're not needed. Even if I was still completely alone, though, I still wouldn't want you anywhere near my child. I'd be too terrified of the negative influence you have on her.
Why, Marlene? Why won't you forgive me?
Mom, both Tom and Monica have made it very clear to you, haven't they? You're the worst mother in the entire world. You can take their word for it. They're both experts in being raised by terrible mothers. My in-laws got divorced not too long after that. My mother-in-law tried to fight it, but since there was no way she could come up with the money to pay off of the other family herself, it was either get divorced or go to the jail for a very long time, and she chose the former. The first place she ran for help was Monica's house. However, when she refused to take no for an answer, Monica called the police on her, and she hightailed it away from there when she heard the sirens. And that was the last any of us ever saw of her. I have no idea where she is or what she's doing right now, but I think we can all be confident that she's having a very rough time of things. As for my husband and I, we decided that continuing to live at an address that his mother knows was too dangerous, so we ended up moving. I'm obviously very busy taking care of my house and my newborn daughter, but my husband, sister-in-law, and father-in-law are all incredibly helpful. Oh, and I have more good news. A few months after Tom's mother disappeared, Monica found out she was pregnant. And now it's going to be my turn to pay her back with all the help that she gave me during my pregnancy.
Hey, Tina? I bet you probably already know what I'm about to say, but I'm going to be working late tonight. I hate how I haven't been able to spend much time with you lately.
Oh no, really? You're working late again? How many days in a row is this now? Honestly, when's the last time you didn't work late?
I know. I'm really sorry, but it's my job. There's nothing I can do about it. Don't wait up for me. You can go to bed whenever you're tired. Oh, and don't forget to lock the front door when you go to bed. I have my key with me, so I won't have any trouble getting in.
You don't need to tell me to lock the door, Hal. I'm not a little kid. And seriously, what is up with your work schedule lately? Why are you all of a sudden working late every night? I mean, you are working, right?
Of course I am. What's that supposed to mean? Are you really suspicious of me? If it'll put your mind at ease, go ahead and call my office. They'll tell you I'm here.
Okay, whatever. You're working. I believe you. But why, though? You've never been this busy before.
What do you mean, why? You know why. We've talked about this before, Tina, so many times. If we want to have kids, we're gonna have to start saving up as much money as possible. I put in a request to my boss to give me more hours specifically for that reason.
Yeah, I remember that, but that was last month. It took your boss a whole month to approve your request? Why did it take so long for you to actually get more hours?
Corporations are an absolute nightmare to deal with, Tina. Nothing happens fast. Everything has to go through 6 departments, get 50 signatures, then go before a review board. My request finally got approved just last week, and really it happened a lot quicker than I expected it to.
Sure, whatever.
Seriously, Tina, what's gotten into you? I don't understand why you're acting like I'm doing something super suspicious. Have I ever said or done anything to make you be suspicious of me?
No, Hal, not at all. It's just, that whole story about working extra hours and taking so long for approval. It seems like the kind of excuse someone who has something to hide would make.
Really, Tina? Excuse? I'm telling you, Tina, I'm telling the truth. I'm really working late to help us save up money to support our future kids. Look, I understand. It must be lonely for you in the house by yourself without me around, but I haven't done anything to deserve you interrogating me like this.
Is that what you think? Well, if that's what you need to tell yourself, then whatever. Boy, did I ever luck out or what, marrying a guy who's married to his work. I hope you and your desk have a wonderful time together again tonight.
You think I'm working late because I like being away from you? I thought I made it clear that I'm doing this to support our family. And don't forget that you were the one who suggested this in the first place. So you'll have to forgive me if I'm a bit annoyed when you act like this over something you wanted me to do.
Oh, isn't that just wonderful? Now you're pretending like I'm the bad guy here. You're saying it's my fault that you're practically living at your office? It's like you're going out of your way to behave more and more suspiciously.
For crying out loud, Tina.
What? I'm just calling it like I see it. The goal is to save up enough money to support our kids, right? There are 1,000,001 ways to do that without working late so often. Just asking for a raise? Did you ever think about that? No, you jumped straight into working until late at night every frickin' day of the week, so excuse me for thinking that's a little bit suspicious.
You think I can just get a raise at the snap of my fingers? It took me a month to get them to let me work more hours at my same pay rate. What makes you think they'd be so quick to just give me more money? This is plain and simple the fastest and easiest way to make more money, just working more. Now, I know that the very big downside to that is that we're going to be apart more often, and that could possibly make you lonely, but still.
But still what, Hal? What are you going to tell me next, huh? Just bear with the crippling loneliness of not having my own husband by my side from Monday to Friday?
Don't start with that. You know that's not what I mean. I'm just trying to say that it's not such a kind and gentle world out here. We're gonna have to make some compromises to get the things we want.
We're gonna have to compromise? I'm the only one who's been compromising.
I'm trying to support you as best I can, Tina. And even with my busy schedule, you still have my full attention on weekends and holidays. I'm gonna keep working hard in order to provide a good future for you and our kids, okay? So please, can't you trust me?
All right. If that's what you really want, then okay. I'll trust you.
Thanks, Tina. I know how difficult the past few weeks have been on you, and I swear I'm gonna work as hard as I possibly can for both you and all our future kids. I can't wait to see you holding our babies in your arms. Just that mental image alone is enough to give me the energy I need to keep going. I know that if the two of us stick together, we'll be able to make it through anything. Hey, Tina? So, where are you right now, and what are you doing? I don't see you anywhere around the house. Did you go somewhere? Did you maybe go out to see one of your friends?
Well, I see you finally decided to come home. Sure took your time getting back from work today. Again.
Are we really still doing this? I worked extra hours today. I told you I was going to be late when I left the house in the morning.
Yeah, I remember. Anyway, if you're home now, that means you must have seen what I left there for you, right? I put it on the coffee table in the living room. Go on and take a look if you haven't yet.
You mean the business card? Yeah, I saw that. I was wondering what the deal was. It says it's for some law firm? Did you go and talk to them about something, or...
Yes, I most certainly did.
Okay. About what, though? Are you in some kind of legal trouble? Wish you would have come and talked to me first.
No, that's not it. I'm not the one who's in any legal trouble. You will be, though, very shortly, because I'm divorcing you.
Wait, what? Divorce? Are you serious? But why?
I don't believe this. Are you really gonna pretend like you have no idea? Like you didn't see this coming?
I'm not pretending. I genuinely have no idea what's going on. Did I do something to hurt you? If you have some reason for wanting to divorce me, stop playing games and just come out and tell me.
Wow, you're really gonna keep up the bit, huh? You don't have any shame at all, do you? After what you did to me?
Stop beating around the bush, Tina. I'm freaking out over here. Would you please just give it to me straight? Tell me why you want to divorce me.
I shouldn't have to tell you. You should just know. It is all your fault, after all.
What is my fault? What? I'm begging you, Tina. Pretend like I have amnesia or something and forgot everything that happened before 5 seconds ago.
You're the one who's pretending to have a bad memory. It's not going to do you any good, though. I already talked to a lawyer. He's getting ready as we speak to sue you for everything you've got.
What? You're suing me again? For what? I'm not going to leave you alone until you give me some answers.
I don't feel like talking to you. It just makes the pain worse. You can talk to my lawyer if you want to know more. I already told him everything.
Is this some kind of a prank? Seriously, what on earth is going on with you? Why won't you just talk to me, Tina? I'm your husband.
You're not going to be able to pull the husband card on me for much longer, Hal. Give it up. I have nothing to say to you. Talk to my lawyer. If you want answers, you're only going to get them from him. Goodbye.
Well, Tina, I did what you told me. I talked to your lawyer.
Good. So now you get it, right? This is all your fault.
No, that's just the thing. I talked to your lawyer, but it didn't do any good. I still have no idea what's going on. I mean, I get that you want to divorce me, and if that's really the case, then there's not much I can do about it. But you were talking about suing me? That's the part I don't get.
Oh, come on, really? I told my lawyer everything you need to know. If you know what's best for you, you'll offer to settle out of court before I really take you to the cleaners.
Tina, your lawyer himself told me that I don't need to worry about your supposed lawsuit against me. I mean, he told me that he hasn't even officially agreed to take up your case for you. I think you're getting a little bit ahead of yourself.
What? Hang on, you're just making all that up, right? There's no way he told you all of that. That's not what we talked about the other day.
You told him that I'm cheating on you, didn't you? And that you want to divorce me and take all my stuff. Do I have all that right so far?
Yeah, that's right. And what about it?
What about it? There's no it at all here. You're wrong about everything. I never cheated on you, so you have no justification to divorce me or to sue me for anything.
Don't give me that. I'm not a moron, Hal. All of a sudden, you start staying at work until super late at night. You gave me some story about asking your boss for more hours, but I already exposed that as being one big stupid lie.
You didn't expose anything. I explained it to you so many times, you just never listened. I never once lied to you about anything. Seriously, do you have any evidence that I cheated on you?
You want evidence? I've got plenty. 1, you suddenly started coming home late every night of the week. 2, you made up an obviously fake excuse for it. You're telling me I need more than that?
Not just me, your lawyer was trying to tell you that. If you had enough evidence to prove your case, don't you think he'd agree to take you on as a client? All you had with him was a consultation. You didn't retain him. He told you that he would need hard evidence in order to make any legal moves, didn't he?
You're just trying to confuse me, aren't you?
You're doing a fine job of that by yourself. How many times do I have to tell you? The reason I requested extra hours at work was because you wanted me to make more money. And now that I've done exactly what you wanted, you're accusing me of cheating on you? That's messed up, Tina.
Okay, sure, maybe I don't have any hard evidence for now, but I'll find some. Just you wait. You cheated on me, and there is no way you can convince me otherwise.
All right, fine, whatever, do what you want. Man, I never thought that I would get accused of having an affair because I was working hard to support my wife. Yeah, if this is what you're gonna be like, then I don't want to stay married to you either. Let's get divorced.
Not so fast. You still owe me for your affair. I'm gonna get tons of evidence, so just you wait.
Take your time. While you're doing that, though, I'll be making some legal maneuvers for myself, just so you know.
What, you're gonna countersue me? For what, though? What have I ever done to you?
I've been getting messages today from a ton of people, including your mom. They're all asking me the same question. Is it true you're having an affair? Let me guess, you told them I was cheating on you, right?
Don't blame me for that. If you don't want me telling everyone you're a cheater, you shouldn't have cheated. You brought this on yourself.
I'm not cheating on you. That makes what you did slander. You're gonna have to pay for that, so I hope you're prepared.
You're such an idiot. You can't sue me for that. You're so pathetic. Your lies didn't work on me, so now you're trying to threaten me?
I'm not threatening you, just giving you a heads up. I'm suing you, plain and simple.
Oh no, I'm so scared. While you're wasting your time on your doomed lawsuit against me, I'm going to be hard at work digging up evidence of your affair. So don't come crying to me when you realize what an idiot you've been all this time.
Wow. That's exactly what I was about to say to you. Anyway, good luck with the wild goose chase. You'll be hearing from my lawyer soon.
Hey, Hal, I got a massive stack of papers in the mail today. It says they're from a lawyer who's representing you. Is this for real?
Yep, it's real. You'll find all the details of my lawsuit in those files. Get a lawyer of your own if you need help going through them. I strongly recommend you settle, though.
That's not what I meant. I know these are real. I meant, are you for real? Are you really going to sue me for slander?
If I wasn't serious, I wouldn't have gone to all the trouble of retaining a lawyer for nothing. I'm trying to help you out here. You really should consider settling. Pay up for what you did, then we'll divorce and go our separate ways. That's what you want, isn't it?
Screw you, Hal. You're the one who's cheating on me. Why should I have to give you anything? I'm the victim.
I'm getting really tired of having to say this, but I have never cheated on you. That means you spread a baseless rumor about me that's done serious damage to my reputation. You are not the victim. I am.
So I'm just supposed to take the fact that you cheated on me and just deal with it? Boy, isn't that justice for you? A cheating man gets everything, while the wife he betrayed gets screwed.
Didn't you say you were going to work on digging up evidence I was cheating on you? How goes the search? Find anything yet?
Well, no, not yet. But I will, mark my words.
It's been a week already. How long is it going to take you to find what you're looking for? I even let you go through my phone and computer and you came up empty with them too.
Yeah, because you erased all the evidence before handing them over. Did you really think I was going to fall for such a stupid trick as that?
Okay, well, what about you then? Have you found any leads on your own? I know you've been making calls to my office. They told you that I was working overtime, like I said, right? They also gave you a detailed record of what time I've been leaving the office every night. so you know I never had any time to cheat on you. Unless you think I'm cheating on you in the car on my way home.
The company probably falsified your records to protect you.
What reason could they possibly have to do that? I mean, falsify official documents in order to help me cover up an affair? They'd have nothing to gain and everything to lose if they got caught. What's it gonna take for you to realize that you're wrong?
I am not wrong. You are cheating on me. You've been abandoning me, your own wife, at home every night, leaving me lonely and miserable. The only possible explanation is that you're cheating on me.
Or, bear with me here, maybe it's because you asked me to. That settles it. The truth is that you do know I wasn't cheating on you.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Stop gaslighting me.
Give it up already, Tina. I get it. You're in too deep. You feel like you have no choice but to push forward.
That's not true.
Tina, you're not stupid enough to believe the nonsense you're spewing right now. I can imagine how you feel. You've already told all your family and friends that I was cheating on you. Then you look for the evidence and oopsie doopsie, I wasn't cheating on you. That puts you in quite the predicament.
Well,
That's why you have to keep pretending that I was having an affair, because if I wasn't, then everyone in your life would be very, very unhappy with you. With me out of your life, you'd be left with absolutely no one who you'd be able to count on, and so you keep up the charade. It's just a coping mechanism.
and so what if it is? All I need to do is find some evidence you were having an affair. Any evidence will do. If I can find that, then I can still claim that I at least was right to be suspicious.
That's the problem, though. There isn't any evidence, because, for the 15th million time, I wasn't having an affair. How are you planning to come up with evidence of an affair that never happened?
I'll figure that out somehow. Worst case scenario, I can always just make something up myself.
Seriously? Are you sure you want to go on the record and admit that to me?
Yeah, sure, why not? I honestly wish I would have thought about doing that way, way sooner. It's crazy what you can do with AI these days. I can find some way to put a picture of you and some random girl together. If I do that, then I can save face with my family and friends and get a bunch of alimony from you. What's the matter, Hal? Finally realized that you can't win? You're such a loser. Sucks to be you. You thought you were going to sue me for slander? All I need is one fake AI image and I can get away with it scot-free.
Well, Tina, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but your flawless plan is never going to succeed.
Huh? Why not?
Because I just sent this entire conversation to your parents.
Uh-oh.
And after that, I sent it all over to my lawyer. He's gonna love this. We already had a slam dunk case, but this is gonna make it an even more decisive victory. You're screwed.
You can't do that. That's a violation of my right to privacy. That's against the Constitution.
We live in a one-party consent state, Tina. Look it up. So what do you think is the worst violation of rights, huh? You told me to work harder, so I did. You then suspected me of an affair which I wasn't having. After that, you went and told all of your friends and family that I'm a cheater. But then you realized you made a huge mistake and decided you would try and cover it up by falsifying evidence? I think you've committed at least 4 federal crimes just in the last 10 minutes.
Shut up! I can't believe you did this to me. You ruined everything.
Nah, that's not true. I didn't ruin everything. Just your evil plan to destroy my life to save face. You're still getting what you wanted, though. A divorce. You should be grateful, honestly.
But now I'm not gonna get any money out of you. And everyone's gonna know I was wrong about you having an affair. How is that everything I wanted? Are you kidding?
Do you remember the advice I gave you? You know, when I strongly advised you to settle? Well, I'm afraid to say I've lost any and all interest in settling this lawsuit with you. I'll see you in court. Not long after that, Tina's parents got the message about everything Tina had been up to, so they swooped in on her like a couple of hawks. They came over to our house with a stack of divorce papers they had their own lawyer draw up and forced her to sign them on the spot. After talking with them for a while, I did decide to change my mind and settle the lawsuit after all. Tina doesn't have any money anyway, so whatever I sued her for, they'd end up having to pay. I felt guilty taking too much from them, so I just accepted a nominal sum, which they told me they'd have her repay them for. As for the rumors she spread about me, her parents did a grand tour of all the people Tina had spoken to and had her admit that it was all a lie. So thankfully, my reputation appears to be safe. Tina, however, can't say the same about her own reputation. The lies she told about me cost her the trust of every single person who she could once call a friend, leaving her completely alone in this world. And as for myself, all that overtime I did paid off in more ways than one. My company was so impressed with all the work I put in that they're talking about giving me a promotion. So, I lost my crazy wife, but gained the trust and respect of my colleagues. Not a bad trade, if you ask me. Yo, Stacy, you done with work yet?
Hey, Nate. Yeah, I just got out a second ago. Boy, it's like you have a sixth sense or something. It seems like you always manage to text me within a few minutes of getting off work every day. What's the matter? You missed me that much since I've been out of town?
Guilty as charged. My wife's off in some other city for work, and I'm stuck here at home all by my lonesome. Loneliness is killing me. I'm losing my mind over here. The only thing that can soothe my broken heart is to make sure I know exactly where you are at all hours of the day.
Okay, that's enough sarcasm for one day, Nate.
Hey, come on, I'm just joking around. You know me.
Yeah, I do know you, which is why I know that unless I cut you off, you'll keep up the sarcasm for the rest of the night. Anyway, I wanted to ask you, did you get a call from my mom today?
Oh yeah, she called earlier this afternoon. She made a point to ask me if I was getting enough vegetables while you were gone. Which was weird, but it was kind of unexpected to get a call from her in the first place. She doesn't call me very often. Did you put her up to that, or...?
Well, kinda. I mean, you never really do much cooking, right? I was worried about you. I wanted to make sure that you were staying healthy while I'm away. So I asked her to check in on you from time to time. You're not just eating a bunch of fast food and frozen dinners, right?
Geez, Stacy, are you my wife or my mom? Yeah, don't worry, I'm eating all my green vegetables, and just for the record, I can cook, you know. Sure, I'm no 5-star chef or anything, but I can throw some veggies in a frying pan with some meat and make something half decent happen.
Oh, really? Huh, I had no idea. How come you've never shown off those culinary talents for me?
I thought that would be obvious. You're just a way better cook than me. Why waste time and ingredients on my third-rate cooking when I can have a pro like you make my meals for me?
Yeah, I guess if you put it like that, it kind of makes sense. But I'm still curious what kind of food you can make, Nate. Why don't you cook dinner for me one of these days?
All right, after you get back from your business trip, I'll whip up something for you. Just don't expect much, okay? Oh, and one other thing, your mom is pretty insistent on coming over here and fixing dinner for me sometime soon. Is that something you put her up to?
No, that was her idea. She told me that if you were really having a hard time on your own, she'd be more than glad to take something over to the house for you. Why do you ask?
Yeah, about that. Could you ask her to please not do that? I mean, I don't want her to have to come out all this way just for me. It's a long drive and all.
I don't know. She seems like she really wants to do it to help you out, Nate.
And I appreciate that, but still, it's fine, really. I'm doing perfectly well on my own. Seriously, both of you guys are way too concerned about me. Your motherly instincts are working overtime. I mean it. Tell her she doesn't need to bother coming out here. I really am doing all right by myself.
Really? Well, all right, if that's what you say. I'll let Mom know she doesn't need to make anything for you.
Thanks, babe. I really appreciate it. Whoa, look at the time. You got work bright and early again tomorrow morning, don't you? I think you should probably go to bed pretty soon.
Yeah, I was thinking about taking a shower in a little bit. Oh, and don't forget to turn off the electric space heater when you go to bed, okay? I know you like to leave that thing on when you take a nap, but it's really, really dangerous. You can use a blanket or something if you're really that cold.
I know. Jeez, Stacy. You're acting like I'm some kind of elementary school kid or something.
I'm just saying, it wouldn't be the first time that you've left it on overnight. I remember a few weeks ago I came home and the space heater was still on from the previous night. Just be careful, okay? You don't want to burn the house down, do you?
I got it, Stacy. You can trust me. I'll be careful. Now hurry up and get off to bed.
Nate, where are you? Why aren't you answering your phone? I've been trying to call you forever. We're in the middle of a crisis here. Nate!
Whoa, why are you blowing up my phone like this? I was trying to sleep, you know. Is that a crime? Whatever you want can wait until later, but since you've already woken me up, fine, I'll bite. What's got you so freaked out anyway?
Are you being serious?
Yeah? Not sure why you think I'd be joking around about sleeping. I mean, it's my day off. I was at home with nothing to do. I was tired. I thought I'd take a nap. Pretty simple story, really.
What? You mean you were sleeping while the house was burning down? There's absolutely nothing left but ashes.
Huh? The house burned down? Is this some kind of a prank? Are you that angry that I didn't answer your call right away?
Wow, I guess you really didn't know. Well, since you're replying to me right now, that means at the very least you weren't caught in the fire too.
Of course I'm fine. Why wouldn't I? Wait, you're serious, aren't you? About the house burning down?
It even made the local news. My mom called me about it a little bit ago. She was freaking out and wondering if you were okay. Well, that made me nervous too, obviously, so I got on the first plane back home. Fortunately, it looks like ours was the only house that burned down, and none of the neighbors' houses had any damage. I guess the only problem they'll have to deal with is a smoky smell in the rooms closest to our house.
Holy, you weren't kidding. It is all over the news. I can't believe it. Our house was burned to the ground. There's nothing left. But what are you doing texting me at a time like this?
Excuse me? I was trying to make sure you weren't dead, Nate.
Yeah, well, now you know that I'm okay, so what's our next move? Our furniture, TV, appliances, they're all gone. And we're gonna have to talk to the landlord about this too. Did you call him? What are we supposed to do next? This has never happened to me before.
Calm down, Nate. My mom and I have taken care of all the most pressing issues. I talked to the fire department. They said that the fire is officially put out and all the fire trucks are clearing out. I called the insurance company too, and that's about all we can do for now.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. Thanks for that, babe.
You're welcome. Now, if you don't mind, let's rewind the conversation a bit. Where are you right now?
Huh?
Don't me. You told me that you were at home with nothing to do, so you took a nap. That was a lie, wasn't it? So, Nate, tell me, where are you right now, and what are you doing?
I meant to say I fell asleep at my desk. Sorry, I'm so tired and just woke up. I must have forgotten where I was.
You said it was your day off today, Nate. Are you really going to tell me that you forgot you were at your office? Why are you lying to me?
Wow, that's not what's important right now. Our house burned down, Stacy. What are we gonna do?
All right, so that's the way you're gonna be. Fine, we can set that aside for the moment. Now on to the next question.
Oh, come on, more questions. Don't you think this is an inappropriate time to be grilling me like this?
This next question is actually directly related to the fire, so I'd say it's a perfectly appropriate thing to ask. I was talking to one of the firefighters a little bit ago. He told me they were able to identify the source of the fire. Well, Nate, would you like to guess where the fires started?
I don't know. Oh, I think I I think I know where it started. I might have forgotten to turn off the space heater before I left the house. Am I gonna get arrested? Like, I have no idea how the laws around that sort of thing work. Is that arson?
For crying out loud, Nate, I told you how many times to be careful with that space heater.
Well, I don't know. I figured I'd be coming right back so it wouldn't be a big deal.
Well, guess what, Nate? It was a big deal. A really big deal. Okay, well, that explains a lot. Now get over here immediately. We have a lot of things to talk about.
About what?
Oh, you know, this and that. About the fire, about our stuff, about insurance, about where you were sleeping just now. You've got some explaining to do, Nate. So don't even think about trying to run and hide.
Man, am I relieved to hear I won't get charged. I thought for sure I was gonna go to jail over that. But seriously, I still can't believe that a stupid, tiny little space heater could cause such a massive fire.
Yeah, lucky you. It turns out that leaving a space heater on when you leave the house may be an incredibly stupid thing to do, but it doesn't fall under criminal negligence. I'll have to call our state congressman and have him submit a bill to fix that oversight. He can call it the Punish Idiots for Being Careless with Fire Act.
Come on, you don't need to take that tone with me. Just because we're getting divorced doesn't give you the right to insult me.
Well, you are an idiot, and you were careless. If anything, I'd say calling you a careless idiot is far too kind. I could also throw in the fact that you're a cheating bastard. Would you like that?
Hey, I already apologized to you for that a bunch of times. I agreed to give you a clean and easy divorce, right? I even agreed on a big fat alimony check for you, so would you just get over it already?
You're acting awfully lackadaisical about this. I mean, you were cheating on me, but are you really sure you'll be all right if we get divorced?
Well, once I get rid of you, I can just get remarried to my girlfriend. So yeah, considering the circumstances, I'd say I don't have too much to be worried about. Oh, but if you were having second thoughts about getting divorced, I'd definitely be willing to have that conversation with you.
Really, Nate? Do you really see any other resolution to this situation other than us getting divorced?
No.
You genuinely don't feel even an ounce of remorse, do you? You do realize that it's an absolute miracle that ours was the only house that was damaged, don't you? If the wind had been blowing in a slightly different direction that night, it could have ended much worse for me and you.
Trust me, I know. I can't imagine how much money I'd have to pay if someone had gotten hurt in that fire. That's on top of the fact that I gotta buy all new furniture and everything. I would have never financially recovered from it.
I wasn't talking about money, Nate, but whatever. Anyway, I'm taking the divorce papers to the courthouse, okay? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
That's a pretty ironic phrase to use here. Yeah, go ahead and do it. I'm gonna be staying at my girlfriend's house for a while. What are you gonna do?
I already brought my stuff over to my parents' house. I'll just stay here. Try not to burn down your girlfriend's house, too. Not that I care.
Don't worry, I won't make that mistake ever again.
Uh-huh. Oh, and by the way, the landlord wanted to talk to you. I'm pretty sure he'll be calling you sometime in the near future, so make sure you answer his call.
Huh? What's he want? I thought we already dealt with all that stuff.
He didn't tell me what it was about, so you'll just have to wait until he calls you to find out. Maybe he just wants to ask you some questions about the night the house burned down. It was your fault, after all.
Duh, that's gonna be a super awkward conversation. Wait, you don't think he's gonna ask me to pay for repairs to the house, do you? I really would not like to have that conversation right now.
It's not like you can avoid it. It's time for you to man up and take responsibility for your actions, Nate.
All right, I'll talk to him, don't worry.
Good. Now, not to be annoying, but I want to make perfectly sure. Once I bring these papers to the courthouse, you and I are through, legally. You get that, right?
Stacy, I know how divorce works. Yeah, I get it. We done here? If you don't mind, I got some unfinished business to attend to with my girlfriend. Stacy! What's going on here? You never told me about any of this.
I thought I made myself clear yesterday. We are through, Nate. Why are you texting me?
You know exactly why I'm texting you. Why do I have to pay for the full amount of the repairs to the house? I thought I wasn't being charged with anything.
It looks like you're under a fundamental misunderstanding about how liability works. Didn't you go to high school?
Stop insulting me and start explaining. You said that I couldn't be held liable for an accidental fire, and the cops did too. They said it was a civil matter, right? So what's the deal? Why do I have to pay for everything?
Okay, either you weren't paying attention or you're just really, really dumb. I told you that your actions didn't meet the criteria for criminal negligence. That doesn't mean you're off the hook for paying to fix what you did.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
Criminal liability and civil liability are two completely different things. Leaving an electrical space heater on when you leave the house is an incredibly stupid thing to do, but you can't get charged for anything unless someone gets hurt, generally. Now that's unrelated to the issue of civil liability. We were renting our house. That means it's not our property. It belongs to the landlord. He is well within his rights to collect repair costs from you. I never told you that you wouldn't have to pay anything at all, did I? I just said you wouldn't go to jail over it.
Well, yeah, but hey, what about you? You're on the hook for at least part of this, aren't you?
Why would I be?
Because we both lived in that house. Why should I have to pay the whole amount by myself?
Legally, the only person with any responsibility to pay damages is the person whose name is on the lease, namely you. So no, I don't have any responsibility to pay a single cent.
No way!
Plus, we're divorced now. Any legal bonds that once existed between us have now been dissolved. You'll have to figure out a way to pay for it all yourself, even if that means taking out a loan. Well, Nate, now do you understand what sort of situation you're in?
You knew this would happen, didn't you? That's why you were being so amicable while we were settling the divorce.
And what if I was? I don't see how that changes anything. Both your affair and the fire were 100% your fault. You can't blame me for not wanting to be anywhere near you when it hit the fan.
I can't believe you. You tricked me.
Nonsense. I didn't trick you at all. You just didn't do all your homework. I'd appreciate it if you could stop blaming me for your shortcomings.
But I can't handle all of this. I've still got alimony payments to make to you, and now I have to pay for the repair costs on top of that?
Yep. I guess if you don't have enough savings to cover it, you'll just have to take out a loan.
How am I supposed to get by when my entire paycheck is going to you and the landlord?
I guess you should have thought harder about the consequences, both of your affair and your carelessness with fire hazards.
This is the worst. What am I going to tell my girlfriend? If she finds out about this, she's going to leave me for sure.
Oh, I don't think you have to worry about that. I'm sure she'll remain loyal to you even if you're broke and penniless. I mean, if you can't count on the loyalty of a woman who knowingly slept with a married man, what can you count on? After that, Nate was stuck with both sizable monthly alimony payments to me and monthly payments to the landlord to pay for the damages he caused to the house. Like I said before, the house was a complete loss, so Nate not only has to pay for the construction of a brand new house, but he also has to pay for the cleanup of the fire. He should count his lucky stars that there was no serious damage to any of the houses nearby. He has enough repairs to pay for as it is. Obviously, after the divorce, Nate's finances were completely drained, leaving him with no option but to take out a massive loan to cover it all. As I expected, once his home-wrecking harlot girlfriend found out about Nate's debts, she kicked him to the curb in short order. I haven't heard from him since then, so I have no idea where he's living, what he's doing, or how he's managing to make ends meet. All I know is that with the amount of money he's on the hook for, he is not going to have a very easy time of things. Legally, none of what Nate did could be classified as a crime, either his affair or the fire he started. However, just because he can't be punished in criminal court doesn't mean that the people he wronged have to sit back and take it. And speaking of Nate's victims, our former landlord and I are still on perfectly good terms. After the fire, I was terrified that he would resent me for it, but actually he was super sympathetic toward me. One time I ran into him in the supermarket and he told me that I should consider myself lucky that Nate burned down the house. If not for that, I may never have found out about Nate's affair. So I may have lost a lot in the fire, but I also like to think I've learned one very, very valuable lesson. Never, ever trust a man who's so cold that he needs to sleep with a space heater.